What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time on the channel, hi, my name is Alex Temiz. I've been trading for 11 and a half years and I've made over $11 million in profits, and we'll pop up my broker statements on the screen right now. So in today's live trading video, you're gonna see me take a loss twice on a stock and still walk away making over $9,000 on the trade. How is that possible? It's because in this example, you're gonna see how fast I cut my losers and how I add heavier into my winners. This is an example of showing you how to get bigger on your winning trades and how to stay small on your losses on your losing trades. Let me know if you enjoyed the video. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and more live trading videos coming up. So this is a $9,391 day, even after taking two losses. So this brings me to a grand total of $19,000 for the month. Only 3 days into the month so far. So LiDAR is bouncing towards VWAP. You know, you could take a small scalp trade in this area, but I'm just waiting for more confirmation, waiting for a little bit more obvious action. SMXT still running. LiDAR push and fail again. AUD, man, just so damn weak. That sucks.
Yeah, I threw some orders out right under 6 after the fail, but it just didn't get there. And I initially was waiting for a little higher because I agree with you. It was just looking really strong.
It was just going a little bit too aggressively up there, but if you look at it in hindsight, it's a perfect projection. So LiDAR is kind of $3 fail, but is there enough room to make money? Not really, not yet. FIG is bouncing, but as I said, I think the easy trades on FIG are over, so nothing really there. So I'm trying to see where the money flow is going, where the attention's going. So there's a patience game here. Could I have taken a trade on LiDAR at 3? Yeah, but what am I going to make, 10, 20 cents? It's not really worth my time. FIG is having a nice bounce day. Waiting game for me. Lobo is moving higher. SMXT. SMXT is traded almost 100 million shares. If FIG falls below the 84 IPO price, does that mean it could free fall? Yeah, I mean, look, the reality is that the IPO was, a little bit overdone. It's still extended. So this LiDAR is still holding. So I'm looking around. SMXT, a little bit of a fail. Lobo is taking some attention, taking some money flow. So looking around here. AUD, if we bounce towards maybe the VWAP area, look at a potential trade. SMXT starting to fail and starting to break under support. So we could get a potential trade on a bounce here. Maybe a 180 bounce. Now that kind of looks like it's failing.
Yeah, and SMXT on the daily, we've got resistance right around that 2 area as well, 192.
So I took a small starter here on SMXT into the bounce. I put my trades up. So short some 178, just a small starter. So far, nice fail. Normally on these fails, I would be adding, but I want to just stick to a small starter because this has 100 million shares. It's potentially the hot stock runner of the day. But I'm just trying to play off this little death candle here. So obviously, if it goes under 172, that's a different story. I could get a little bit more aggressive. Keep an order ready to add in case the support area breaks, but there's not anything of substance here yet. I don't really trust this stock yet. Freaking AUD just straight down, man.
Yep.
Oh well. So a starter is a small partial position. A partial position just to kind of get a hang of the stock and see what it's doing. But looking around, man, I'm not really seeing anything else. So this is a little bit of a boredom trade for me. So because this is a little bit of a boredom trade, I want to very much so watch my size. I don't want to turn this boredom trade into a big loser, right? So already it looks like it's reclaiming. So let's see. If it reclaims and pushes through the highs, I'll just stop out. And if we get a nice fail, I'll add. But this is not one that I want to be super, super, super large size on. I'm recognizing that it's not a good trade. I'm recognizing that it's a boredom trade. So I want to be there accordingly. So let's see. If we get a fail, I could add. But for now, I'm just waiting to see it trade out. Oftentimes, these stocks hit the high of the day and then reject. So it's kind of like what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, and I entered small size as well here. I'll get bigger if we confirm.
So I see the low of that candle is 188. So if we break 188, that'll be an add. But if we kind of continue higher, I'm not looking to fight this thing, man. I'm small size. I'm keeping it controlled. So far, there is some resistance at $2, but I don't want to add just for the sake of adding. A lot of sellers at $2, man. A lot of sellers at $2. So watching that 188 low, LiDAR I see is bouncing. LIDR. Lobo failing. So I'm probably going to stop out of this SMXT starter here momentarily. It's not really doing what I wanted. So I took a small stop there on SMXT. Lost a little bit of money, but it's okay. If I see it breaking down, I have no problem getting back in. I see 195 support and I see 188. So if I get these areas breaking of 195 and 188, I'll get back in. So the key on these is to recognize when you're wrong. So I didn't add my size just for the sake of adding. Very good stop.
Yep, I cut mine as well.
Holding up. Okay. So far, so good. So recognizing this was a little bit of a boredom trade, recognizing to keep my size small, made my loss small as well. LiDAR bouncing as well. So now we're getting some solid action here. So now I'm starting to get a little bit excited. I see the momentum is coming. So starting to see some exhaustion action on SMXT, so waiting a little bit more, but definitely monitoring for a re-entry here. LiDAR is nice bounce, getting some attention, getting some money flow. So restarted in SMXT short at 220. So once again, another small position. These small positions, guys, I have no problem stopping out, but my goal is not to add to a loser. My goal is just to add to a winner. So if I see a fail, if I see a confirmation, if I see something along those lines, that'll make me feel like I should be adding. So I'm not all in. I'm not using monster size. I'm just staying very small and very controlled. Looks like 220 is kind of failing. So watching, definitely looks like a fail. So it took an ad there, 220. It pushed and rejected, right? You can see it pushed and rejected, but for this to kind of continue, we need to see it fall through to the downside. Now that trapped, but let's see. It's trap is, I don't know. It's failing again. So very clearly, you can see support at 218. 218 is the clear support, clear as day. So I want to be watching that 218 area. It looks like it's going to fail. Added 218. So they pushed, cleared out high of the days, and brought it back to support. Now we need to see some follow through, man. We need to see some follow through to the downside. Because what they're doing is they're bringing it to support, and then they're just reclaiming it. What's the low of that candle? Is 217. So 217, 218. These are going to be the clear add areas. So I don't want to add as the stock is going against me. I want to add as it's going in my favor, right? So right now, kind of looks like it's ramping up again. So I got to be careful. But every time it pushes the high of the day, it doesn't really push hard enough. So because it doesn't push hard enough, that's kind of what's keeping me in this trade for a little bit longer. Let's see.
Yeah, key is we've got to start breaking some levels down here.
I mean, it's still holding. 250 has some sellers again. Let's see. The lows of this candle is 230. So let's watch. I want to see clear directional breakdowns. And if I see those clear breakdowns, that's when I add. So controlling my size here, I'm still only in partial size. 230 is the low of that candle, so we'll watch that area. And the ultimate add is going to be under 217, 218. So watching for a 230 break if it comes. Watching 230. Took a small add there, 32. Lobo failing. So starting to get some 230 resistance. Same thing, 218 is the key area. So if we break that 218 area, that's going to be my final add. Right now, I'm in about 25% of my size. So watching that 218 support, watching. So watching here, another fail. What's the low of the candle? Is 22. So if we break 217, 218, and we come right back, then I know that they're definitely playing games still. LiDAR is moving. So the main thought process on this SMXT is I thought that LiDAR was maybe taking some attention. So 218 is still the key area. Can always set a stop market order at 218 as well. But this SMXT is still kind of strong.
Yeah, it's just got a ton of volume too, so a lot of attention.
Another fail. Watch it. It's another fail there, man. So it's just holding my ads for that 218, trying to be very patient for it. And I know that 218 breaks, the trade will confirm. Watching. So low of that candle is 22. So whoever's manipulating the stock is doing their very best to hold this in the 220s because they know if they can't hold this in the 220s, that it is going to go straight down. Finger on the trigger, watching 218s. Added to get that follow through to the downside. So 218 still holding for now. So I gotta be careful. Almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. 5 times they supported 218, man. AUUD is bouncing, but it would need a much larger bounce. So this SMXT is still pretty strong. So I might have to look to size down here just to protect myself until that 218 breaks. So I set a stop market order for 218. So if 218 fails, I'll get another ad. But this is just a way for me to manage my risk and control my FOMO. So bouncing for now. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna reduce it just in case. I could always add it back. So we're gonna potentially reduce it here and add back if we get a fail. I need to err on the side of caution. So I'll reduce some here, 48. If it fails, I could always get back in.
What's up, everyone? Just want to interrupt this video real quick to let you know about something special that we're doing for my birthday. So for the first time ever, we're going to be offering you a 30-day free trial to watch me trade live every single day. There are no strings attached. You get to watch me trade live every single day for 30 days straight. And in addition to that, I want to give you access to our MIC community for absolutely free for 30 days as well. If you didn't already know, MIC is the #1 highest rated trading education platform on the planet. We have over 750 5-star reviews. So inside MIC, you're gonna get one-on-one mentorship phone calls, you're gonna get daily video lessons, weekly webinars, and way more than that. So if you wanna watch me trade live and get all the bonuses as well for free for 30 days, just click the link in the description or click the pinned comment down below. What do you have to lose? This may change your life forever.
My fear is that it's going to push 250 and then go a little bit crazy. So I want to just kind of reduce it and I can just always get back in. Look at the big sellers, man. Overall market's going down now.
Yeah, SMXT, I have no position. I trimmed it all. I'm just waiting.
They're setting up a big seller at 250, man, but I don't trust it. I think that they're going to probably blow through the seller and push it up. So it's getting very, very risky at this point. It's getting very, very risky. But if we see a breakdown, I'll be back. So watching. See a big seller, man. Big seller. But if they chew through that seller, man, that's where it gets kind of sketchy. So a little bit of a fail here. But can you trust the fail? The low of that candle is 33, but it is definitely a little bit stronger than I wanted. So if we break the lows of that candle, maybe I can get an ad, but still 218 is where the money is. So I took an ad there on the 233 break. Remember, 218 is still the key area, guys. So what's the lows here is 25-ish watching. And starting to look weak again. Took an ad, added, stop market order filled. Got that ad with the stop market order under 218. Now here's where the trade gets interesting. So stop market order filled. Let's see if we get some follow through to the downside. So support. Yeah, I'm back in 30% size and I'm looking to potentially get more aggressive if we see a fail here. Now, the difference between these stocks today versus, last week or whatever it was is the market cycle has been a lot weaker lately. So these day one stocks should act weak as well. So normally these day one stocks are mostly just like an avoid, but coming into today, looking at the market cycle, I mean, I'm looking for potentially these things to fail like they've been failing all day and all week. But BTAI running a little bit. So hopefully this BTAI takes attention. So once again, remember 218, guys. We need to see start to have 218 start to act as a top. Verb is moving up. So just looking for this bounce to fail.
The CWD also has a little bit of attention.
Yep. So we need to see this bounce here fail. Remember, ideally, we need to see it fail under that 218, right? 218 has been all freaking day, man. All freaking day 218. So nice fail. What's the low of that candle? The low of the candle is 13. So maybe I could add up a little bit more at 13 break. Maybe I'll do that. Well, I'm trying to use the market cycle to my advantage. I'm recognizing that we're in a little bit of a weaker market cycle. So these stocks, thought processes, they should fail. So add it here, 213. This is going to be my final ad of the day on it. So if this was a different market cycle, if this was about a month ago, I'd be a lot more risk off. But I'm trying to be a little bit more risk on because of the slow cycle that we're in. A lot of the stocks are failing. A lot of the stocks are not really too strong. It's still holding. So oddly enough, it's still freaking holding. Okay, that's a good fail. That's a really good fail. Let's get some follow through.
Yep, got to break this 213 and then.
That's a very good fail, man. That's a very, very good fail. Some sellers showing up. Let's get some follow through. Okay, that's a really nice fail. So we're starting to potentially see a little bit of a trend change. 208, next support. There we go. What's the low of that candle? 203. Come on, 203. If we wash out under $2, I'll have an open order to reduce some. So looking for a nice wash, maybe towards this VWAP area to take a little bit of profits off. IDR coming down, WD. So open order at 198 to cover some SMXT if it gets there. I'll also have an order at 195.
Yeah, it looks like the CWD is taking a lot of attention for now. I think that's helping.
Come on down. Come on. 198 flashed. I did not get my order. Probably because you guys had it at 199. I know Steven did. But it's okay. The trend is broken now. The trend is broken. So I stopped out twice on this stock. I stopped out here and I stopped out here. And I don't want to jinx anything, but it's still a pretty nice green trade. So I just got my open orders on the dips waiting. So normally, guys, I wouldn't trade this stock as aggressively. But as I mentioned at the start of this live trading, the reason why is because the market cycle is allowing me to be a little bit more aggressive on these names. Had this been last month, I would not touch it with a 10-foot pole. But now, at least, there's a little bit more opportunity. 203, some sellers. Overall market is looking pretty weak today, too. I'll have my open orders on the dips. Let's see. They're holding $2. I still didn't get my order at 198. That's freaking annoying. It's all right. So long as this remains under 218, I'm kind of in the driver's seat. I'm just going to remove my 198 order and just move it lower. BTAI is moving, LiDAR, fail, AUUD, nothing. Like I said, guys, normally this is not something I would be trading or fighting or anything like that, but After seeing all the action on all the other names, it has me thinking that the market cycle is weaker. And if the market cycle is weaker, I could be more, focused on some of these names. BTAI still going. I moved my order to 195 on SMXT. Come on, 198, 96. I gotta be covered some at $2 here because it just reclaimed again. So reduce some risk at $2. I saw 198 hold again. So it held a bunch of times. So I want to reduce my risk. So it took some profits there at $2. Still waiting for this VWAP washout if it comes. Will you add on bounces now that you reduce some? Yeah, until probably about zombie time, I'll probably add if it bounces. But if not, I have no problem just waiting it out like it's doing right now. It's kind of failing. Nvidia is weak, markets are weak. So looking like a risk off day in the markets as well. So 198 is holding again. So let me be proactive. So 199, reduce some more. So the same way here, guys, at 250 built a resistance. We're seeing 198 build a support. The same thing. But hell, oh, here we go.
Let's see.
91, reduce some. Come on. Amazing. Amazing. Cover more 91. One more time, baby. 89, I'm sitting for more. 89 got more. Next support is 88. So fuck it. 88, sitting for more. Got more 88. 86, sitting for more. Got some 86. Okay. Well, this turned into a sick trade. So I still have a little bit left here. Well, looking at the clock, I got 10 minutes till zombie time. So here's the difference, guys, with this trade and maybe some other trades. Let me actually get the rest of this cover. So 86 got more off. So down to partial size here. And while I'm at partial size, I'll explain this because I think this is a good trade to learn on. So, coming into the day, guys, we saw, what type of market that we're in. We saw that a lot of these stocks were trending down. So SNGX went straight down yesterday. LiDAR went straight down today. AUUD went straight down today. So I'm seeing that a lot of those stocks that were once high-flying day one stocks have been very, very weak in this market cycle. So by understanding and recognizing that day one stocks currently in this market cycle, as of right now, as of today, are weak, then I have no problem starting to attack them and starting to trade them. So first things first is I saw a death candle here. I took a starter. As the stock reclaimed, I stopped out. As we started to see where the stock's keys areas were, I added on another fail, and I added on another fail. Notice, guys, I'm not adding as the stock is going against me. I'm adding after I see a signal or I see a confirmation or I see something that proves that I'm going to be right. And then as soon as I saw that maybe it was going to break 250, I was rather cautious, and that's okay. I'd rather err on the side of caution, take some stop losses, and just add back more on the confirmations. Add it back on the break of the lows here, add it back on the support break, and add it back on the VWAP break. And as we dip down to support, I reduced most of my position. So I was about like 20, 25% size here. I stopped out of half. Got back in 30% size, added another 10% to bring me to 40%. And I covered, a ton of it down here. It's a day one, $1 stock. It's not really my ideal bread and butter type of setup. But this goes to show, guys, I'm not a perfect trader, nor do I expect to be a perfect trader. I stopped out twice, took losses. I stopped out at the top. But who cares if you stop out at the top if you're adding on the confirmations, added on the break of the lows of the candle here, added on the 218 break. And when we saw this bounce fail, add. And then as we dip down to support, I'm not going to be greedy and say, oh, it's going to go to $1.50. I'm going to take my profits slowly along the way, like I'm doing right now, because I see support. Support is at 188. So let me cover more at 189. Just covered more at 189. But had this stock, oh, here we go. Let's see if we can get some more. But 85 covered more. But had this been a stock that was moving last week, man, I would have been petrified and ignored it. Why? Because the market cycle last week was so damn strong. Everything was squeezing, everything was trapping, everything was running. So if you use that same mentality on a day like today, you end up getting screwed up. So what I'm trying to do, guys, I'm trying to use a market cycle to my advantage. And recognizing this market cycle, it allows me to, be a little bit more loose when it comes to stocks like this on day one. Let's cover some more. 85, I'm sitting for some more. Got it. And look at the clock, guys. I got 5 minutes until zombie times. So notice the exact trade got more off 83. The exact trade works exactly within our time frame. 81 sitting for more, running out of shares. Let me just cover some at 82. So in at 82, got those 82s. 80 covered more, and 79 for the rest. Let's see if I get it. 79 for the rest all out. Boom. That's the trade. So this is a $9,391 day, even after taking 2 losses. 9,391.48. So this brings me to a grand total of $19,000 for the month. Only 3 days into the month so far. This day, in my opinion, shows that I'm not any better than you guys, right? I'm not any better than you guys. I am just sticking to the process. Sometimes I do well, sometimes I don't, but you can see that I stopped out at the dead freaking top, man, the dead freaking top. And not only did I stop out at the top, I was able to make nearly $10,000 doing so by adding back. This is only because the market cycle is a lot weaker right now. If the market cycle was not this weak, I would not be, thinking about it at all. But I have the market cycle kind of helping me in my favor with this trade. So that's pretty much it. With that being said, guys, there's 3 minutes until zombie times. I stuck to my process exactly, and now I'm walking away at 10:30 a.m. as per my process and my strategy tells me. That being said, guys, calling it a day here, walking away, almost $10,000 day. Again, I'm not perfect. I don't think I'm perfect. I make mistakes. I stop out. I lose. But so long as you're sticking to the process and adding on confirmations, I mean, it all adds up. So that's it for me, guys. Be back at it again first thing tomorrow. Thank you.